Good morning. It is Tuesday, November the 18th. I remember because my aunt's birthday is tomorrow. I just wanted to touch base with you. Currently it's about 40 degrees, and as long as I keep my neck warm, I'm good to go. You can't see it, but behind me there is an old tobacco barn. I'll show you once I'm finished yakking. And I did some measurements yesterday. The logs that it's built from, they range in width from about 9 to 12 inches. And those logs are the ones I want to bring down, mill out, and build my own structure with. It's pretty tall. I'm still working over in my head how I'm going to start disassembling. Of course, it has to happen from the top down, but the roof is an issue. But before I can even get to that, I have to clean up the brush around so I can get to. And once I get pieces down, I can move them out. So I will give you a little view of the barn that needs to be cleaned out, the brush that needs to be cut back, and to my right there is an old pen, chicken pen, that my daddy had built that I am going to cover and clean out for storage of things that come out of the barn that need to be kept. There's an additional barn further back where the dead tractor lives, and I'll be consolidating, cleaning up that area as well so other things can be moved in. A lot of stuff's going to come out and go away. It's just been a catch-all all these years, so it's time to clean it up and make good use of the materials that are available. My goal is to not invest a ton of currency into doing this, but more sweat equity, which I'm no stranger to sweat equity, and I will figure it out as I go along. It's going to be interesting. And one of the prime reasons I want to film this, well, there are two. One, accountability. If I start something and other people know about it, I feel responsible to actually finish it. And that is what I intend to do. I don't know how long it'll take. I know how long I'd like for it to take, but that's neither here nor there. And secondly, at some point in the future, if we're all still here and things still work, I would like to have an accounting of the things I did for my grandson. I would love it if he could at some point in the future look back and think, you know, my mama was pretty cool. So I will show you around, and I thank you for coming back again. I have a lot to do today. I have to fill my waters. You could call what I'm doing semi-off-grid. I do have electricity. I don't use a lot. I heat with wood. I have to bring water in buckets, which I just go up to the other house, fill them up, and bring them back. The plumbing in this house, it needs to be replaced completely, but I am not invested in renovating this house for several reasons. What I build, I want to put on skids, so if at some point in the future I can afford to purchase a piece of property somewhere outside of the current location, I can have it moved. I don't know how realistic that is. My brother showed me an ad last week on Facebook Marketplace where 2 half-acre lots side by side, and the owner has them listed for $126,000. That's 1 acre of land for $126,000. Call me crazy, that's a lot of money for an acre of land. So I have the opportunity now. I have the raw resources behind me. All I have to do is make it happen. And if by making myself share this journey, it keeps me accountable and helps me get motivated to actually do and complete the project, that is what I'm going to do. I am not the most tech savvy person by any means of the imagination, and I really don't want to be. I don't want smart appliances. I don't want Alexa or anybody like that in my house telling me, listening to me, anything like that. So I hope we can make this happen together. You watching, commenting, giving your opinions, or sharing advice that might be helpful. I would appreciate that, because I'm not above being taught something new. Love, love, love the creators on YouTube who are out here making it happen and showing what they're doing along the way. It's an invaluable resource for anybody who wants to learn anything. If you dig deep enough, you can find it on YouTube, and you'll be grateful, or I'm grateful, and you'll really enjoy seeing them flourish and do wonderful things. That being said, I hope everybody has a wonderful day, and now I'm going to show you the barn, and I will see you in the next video. The first order of business will be cleaning it out. And once upon a time, it was a tobacco barn. This was a tobacco farm. This past summer, I'm fairly certain it was Raccoon Hotel, because Raccoon would come out and help herself to cat food from the yard cat. You can see up in the corner where it's starting to separate, so there's really no reason to allow all of this good wood to go to waste when it could be repurposed. You can still see the pipes going up to the roof where they used to cure the tobacco in here. There is, unfortunately, right through that crack, you can see a big, I don't know what you call it. It's poison ivy. So that's going to have to be cut out at the ground and cut down off of the building. Thankfully, I'm not, knock on wood, super allergic, but my brother is. Therefore, he will not be assisting in that portion of the taking down of the barn. I think maybe we can make it through to the back. I can tell you that I'm not sure what the particular plant is, but it's these green pieces here that have the thorns and the briars in them. They get these green, really bright green leaves. The deer like to eat them, but they are very wicked if you get caught up in them. I do love the stone at the base of this barn, and I will be using that stone. Here's the trunk of the ugliness, although I think that may be just ivy, just regular old ivy, but I do know there is poison ivy in there. I saw it before the leaves came off. And this is the first time I have ventured back here. Oh boy, what a mess to clean up. More chainsawing to do. Yay. I don't mind that. There's also a tree behind my mother's house that fell during the summer that I need to cut up. And it was standing dead, so it should be ready to rock and roll. I see a lot of potential in this wood. It's very, it's old, and you know, well, maybe you don't know, but the older wood gets, the harder it gets. So I'm gonna have to cut that up. That appears to have been down for a while. Should be good for burning. But this is not quite the back 40. In fact, there isn't even 40 here, but there's quite a bit of land for where we're at. I'll take you over and show you the other barn. Where the dead tractor lives. It is not my tractor, and it does not run. But there is a fair amount of cleaning up to be done in here as well. But I have seen some very good wood in here. Wood that will be quite beneficial. And there's a window back there in the corner. It's a pretty big window that could come in very handy for me. Because if I can repurpose or find, salvage materials, that is what I intend to do. Waste not, want not. And the blue barrel, there's a couple of barrels in the other barn that will be great for rainwater collection. Now, do I know specifically what to do with those? Not yet. I've watched so many other people that I almost have taken in too much information, and it gets a little bit confusing at times. So I have to go back, find the most pertinent resources, make notes, and figure out what I'm going to do or how I'm going to do it. I will show you this old chicken pen. My daddy was really big into chickens. I personally am in it for either the eggs or the meat. At this point, I only have egg hens and one rooster that I didn't really want, but ended up with when I purchased chicks this past spring. This thing right here, I need to cover the top and some of the sides, clean it out of course, because where won't a maple tree grow? And just block it in, because for some reason my daddy had a whole lot of bags of lime. Lime and lime and lime. He was not a gardener or a farmer, but he had a lot of bags of lime. And I had moved them into the barn last fall, and now I need to move them out so I can start deconstructing. But that is your tour for the day, and I will figure out where this is where I'm going to start on this structure right here, as it were, so I can move the keepable things in here, and that'll be that. So I thank you for sticking around this long if you have, and I hope you have a glorious day. It's very beautiful here. We have blue sky for now, but you can see some high thin clouds. Thankfully there's none of those marks like they like to throw at us, but that is what we have for a Tuesday. Thanks, and I hope you have a great day.